Whether your holiday dinner is this week or weeks from now, these are 7 side dishes you still have time to pull off. Are you ready? Aprons on, let's go. You gotta try the sausage stuffed mushrooms. Now this works great as a side dish and an appetizer. So you can use up to 20 baby Bella mushrooms. I definitely don't have 20 here. I'm using up what I have left. Gently remove the stems from the mushrooms and chop them up. Then you're going to finely dice 1/4 cup of onion and 2 garlic cloves. To your skillet, we're going to heat up a tablespoon of olive oil over medium heat. To that, add your chopped mushroom stems, the onion, and garlic. And we're going to saute this for about 3 to 4 minutes just until it gets softened. Oh, this smells so good. Then we're going to add 1/2 pound of Italian sausage. Break that up as it cooks and brown it up. Season it with some salt and pepper and 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. Get the sausage all browned up. Then turn it off the heat and stir in 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs and 1/3 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. Now you can use fresh parsley, about 1/4 cup. I didn't have any, so I just sprinkled in some dried parsley. Then drop in 4 ounces of softened cream cheese and just mix all this up till it's really well combined. Have your oven preheated to 375 degrees, and you can line a baking sheet with parchment paper if you want, but I am placing mine down into a 9x13 baking dish. I'm about to spoon in the sausage mixture to the mushroom caps, but I'm noticing that the mushroom caps are a little shallow, so I'm just gently taking my spoon and carving out a little more room for my sausage mixture. Remember, this mixture is supposed to fill up 20 baby Bella mushrooms, but I'm working with a lot less than that. Okay, I just find it easier to use my clean hands to stuff the mushroom caps. So I'm getting them all stuffed, placing them in my baking dish. And then I'm going to drizzle a tablespoon of olive oil all over the stuffed mushrooms. Now this is going to bake for 20 to 25 minutes or until the mushrooms are tender and the tops are golden brown. I wish you could smell this. This smells amazing. The flavor is outstanding and the mushroom is nice and juicy. Oh, you got to give this a try. If you make stuffed mushrooms, what do you do? What do you use in yours? I would love to know. Let's make bacon onion Brussels sprouts. I'm telling you, this recipe will turn haters into believers. This is my friend Beth's recipe and it is a hit. So I'm working with 1 pound of bacon and I'm just chopping these into medium-sized pieces. In a large skillet, I'm gonna cook these up until they're nearly crisp. Bacon. While they're doing their thing, I'm gonna be chopping up this yellow onion. All right, the bacon is nearly crisp. So with a slotted spoon, I am just grabbing the bacon and putting it on this plate with a paper towel. Every time Beth makes these Brussels sprouts for Friendsgiving, I can't stop eating them.
Oh, is that right?
I was like, can I please have this recipe? And I'm not getting rid of this fat. Oh, no, no, no. We're gonna need it for the rest of this recipe. So I'm reserving a ton of this and I'm keeping it in this mug. So there's still a little bit of grease left in the pan. So I'm gonna add in my onion and I'm just gonna saute this up until it's translucent. Once your onion is done cooking, you could just add those with the bacon on the plate. On my baking sheet, I have my trimmed up Brussels sprouts. These are big Brussels sprouts that I quartered. You can grease the pan up with some of that bacon grease, but I'm gonna be tossing the Brussels sprouts in with the bacon grease so it'll be coated. You can use a spoon, put some gloves on, use your hands. We're gonna roast the Brussels sprouts at 350 degrees for about 25 to 35 minutes. It's basically to your desired doneness. Now during the last 10 to 15 minutes, stir in your cooked bacon and onion, and you're gonna add 1 to 2 teaspoons of chicken bouillon to taste. I have the chicken bouillon powder, so it makes it super easy. Pop them back in the oven for those last minutes, and then you're done. Enjoy. They are delicious. Oh my goodness. And my father-in-law, who doesn't really care for Brussels sprouts, tried them and actually enjoyed them. Pull out your slow cooker because we're gonna make slow cooker sweet potatoes. This recipe is so easy. First, you're gonna spray the inside of your slow cooker. You're gonna need 2 29-ounce cans of sweet potatoes and you need to drain them and drop down your sweet potatoes. Then to the tops of those, we're gonna add 1/3 cup of cubed butter. Then sprinkle down some brown sugar. Now this, I'm gonna let you decide on how much sugar. I have gone up to 1/3 cup, but if you're gonna end up using marshmallows like I am later in this recipe, it might be a little too sweet for you. So I like to say to go up to 1/3 cup of the brown sugar. Sprinkle that all on there, get the lid on, and cook on high for 3 to 3.5 hours. When that's done, add in some miniature marshmallows. You can make this recipe so versatile. You can add in cinnamon, which I've done before. And at this point, you can even add in some chopped pecans. Yum. Put the lid on and have it cook for about another 15 minutes. You just want to get the marshmallows puffy and soft. Mine went a little longer, as you can tell, but it doesn't matter. It is still delicious. And there you go. Serve it up nice and hot, and I promise you, your family is going to love this. Next, I'm going to share with you one of my favorite recipes I put together a few years ago, creamed corn. So to my pan, I have about 20 ounces of corn. You can use fresh or you can use frozen. This is frozen. And to the corn, I added 4 tablespoons of butter. And I'm going to melt this down with the corn. Then finally chop about 1/4 cup of onion and add that to your pan. I'm telling you, this recipe is so easy to put together and obviously tastes so much better than canned creamed corn. Then I added in 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. So I don't want to over salt it, but not under salt it. So I did about 1.5 teaspoons just to be safe. Then I dropped in 2 tablespoons of sugar. Okay, I'm bringing this to a boil, stirring this up, getting it nice and thick. Then I'm bringing it down to a simmer. I did add in some grated Parmesan cheese, probably about 1/4 cup, and sprinkled in some dried parsley. And put as much as you want in there. It really is by taste. And once it does get to the thickness that you like, give it a little taste, see if it needs any more salt, sugar. Sometimes I add in more Parmesan cheese, but at this point, it is done. This came out so good. Let me know if you make creamed corn and what you do, but I promise you're gonna love this recipe. I'm going to share with you a butternut apple cranberry quinoa salad. Okay, first thing you're going to do is peel your butternut squash. Next, you're going to seed out your butternut squash. Okay, once you've done that, and you're going to cube these up into bite-sized pieces. Okay, once you've done that, and you're going to cube these up into bite-sized pieces. We're going to now dice up the onion. Okay, you're going to take a baking sheet, line it with tin foil, spread your squash and onions throughout it. Okay, you're going to take your 4 tablespoons of butter and melt them. And in the bowl, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of the pure maple syrup. And then you're going to add 1 teaspoon of the cinnamon. You're going to give this a mix. Okay, you're going to take your butter and maple syrup cinnamon mixture, and you're going to brush it over the squash and onions. Okay, once that is done, you can sprinkle it with a little bit of salt and pepper if you like. Okay, we're going to roast this for 25 minutes in a 400-degree oven. Okay, while you are roasting your squash and onions, you're going to get your quinoa ready. I have already rinsed out my quinoa. So I got me 2 cups of the chicken broth. We're going to get that boiling and add the quinoa in. But again, follow the instructions on your quinoa package. About 15 minutes into the baking of the squash and onions, you're going to add 2 small Honeycrisp apples diced up to it. So I'm going to roast this for the rest of the time. Next, we're going to get the dressing ready. You're going to need 1/2 cup of pecans chopped. You're going to need 1/2 cup of dried cranberries. Got them ready to add to our dressing. Okay, to a bowl. To a bowl, you are going to add 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And for the spices, you're going to add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/8 teaspoon of the ginger, ground ginger, and also 1/8 teaspoon of the nutmeg. Okay, you're going to mix this together. You can also add a little pinch of salt and pepper in there if you'd like. We're going to set this aside and check in on our squash. That looks so good. It smells insane. Oh my goodness. Okay, you're going to add your roasted onions, squash, and apples to a bowl. Okay, you're going to add your quinoa. Now this made a lot. I don't know if I'm going to use it all. We'll see. And then you're going to add your pecans and craisins. And you're going to add that dressing. Okay, and we're just going to mix this up all together. And you're going to serve this nice and warm. The heat are going to make those craisins come alive and bring the flavor out. It's going to be great. Oh my goodness, you guys. This smells so good. Oh my goodness, this looks good. There's so many yummy flavors. It's just amazing.
This is really good. I think this is a perfect side dish to your next Thanksgiving coming up.
Here's a popular side dish, macaroni and cheese. And today I'm going to share with you my mom's baked macaroni and cheese. Today we're doubling this recipe, but you'll normally need 1 pound of elbow macaroni. In a pot of boiling salted water, we're going to cook up our macaroni for about 5 minutes or until it's about halfway cooked. My mom got so excited to make this that she got ahead of herself. You're first going to add 1 egg to your pot, then 2 cups of milk. Whisk the egg and milk together. Then add your 2 tablespoons of melted butter. We're gonna slowly heat this through. You'll need 2½ cups of shredded cheese. Mom's only adding shredded white American cheese. We love it like this. But of course, add any favorite cheese that you like. From here, you can salt and pepper this to taste. Mix this up really good, get that cheese incorporated. Have your oven preheated to 350 degrees. When your macaroni is done, strain it and pour your macaroni into a well-greased 2-quart baking dish. Now take your yummy cheese mixture and pour that all over the macaroni. For a topping for our baked macaroni, Mom is sprinkling the top with some breadcrumbs. In the comments, let me know, what do you like to top your macaroni and cheese with? Now we're gonna bake this for 30 to 40 minutes until it's all heated through, nice and bubbly, and the top is golden brown. Look at this. I wish you could smell it. It smells so good. This is one of my favorite recipes from my mom. And when I had it that night, I just realized how long it actually has been since I've had it. This is so good, so addicting. And when you heat this up for leftovers, it is still so good and creamy. This recipe is the butternut squash bake, and you're gonna need 1 butternut squash. I'm gonna get this peeled, and then I'm gonna slice it right down the center and clean out the inside of this. I am gonna slice these verticals into about 1-inch strips, and you're gonna need a 1/4 cup butter, and we're gonna end up melting that, 2 cloves garlic, and now I'm just going to chop up the garlic. Okay, I'm gonna combine the garlic with the butter, and you're gonna need 1/2 cup of Italian breadcrumbs and 1/2 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. We're gonna mix this together. This is gonna be that yummy topping. Snag a pan that will fit all that squash. I think this one's a little bit bigger than a 9 by 13. All right, I'm gonna spray that down with some cooking spray, and I'm gonna layer these in and do the best that I can. I have a couple of pieces that will just kind of scoot in there, and then we sprinkle this on each slice, and then we'll put some salt and pepper on top. And this is gonna go in the oven for 45 to 50 minutes until the squash is cooked all the way through and the topping is turned golden brown. Oh, this smells so good. I even suggest maybe putting a drizzle of maple syrup on this. Oh my goodness, this is delicious. Yum. If you're looking for even more side dishes for your next holiday dinner, like green bean casseroles and stuffings, then click on these videos here and I'll meet you over there. Thanks for joining me. Bye.